Most aspirants treat optional as a subject. Toppers treat it as an opportunity. An opportunity to gain an edge, boost their main score and strengthen their final rank. The question is simple: simultaneous preparation today or overwhelming pressure later on? Because optional preparation cannot be built overnight after prelims. It requires time, depth, practice, refinement. Start early, prepare smart, stay ahead. Join the VisionIAS Optional Classroom Program 2027 and turn your optional into your strongest scoring advantage. With comprehensive syllabus coverage, expert faculty guidance, subject-specific answer writing support, personalized mentorship, regular tests and performance assessment. Starting 1st July, batches are available for Anthropology, Geography, History, Philosophy, Physics, PSIR, Public Administration, Sociology. Register now and secure your seat.
Time is of the essence, and your UPSC preparation demands that you use it wisely. Every day you invest today shapes the knowledge you build, the confidence you gain, and the progress you make tomorrow. That's why your preparation deserves more than just effort. It deserves a structured plan. Introducing the VisionIAS Delhi GS Foundation Course 2027. A comprehensive program designed to help you build strong fundamentals, stay consistent, and prepare systematically for every stage of the civil services examination. Prepare comprehensively with general studies for prelims and mains, dedicated CSAT preparation for prelims, specialized essay preparation for mains, integrated current affairs, regular tests with detailed performance analysis, continuous mentorship, and expert guidance. When your preparation is guided by a clear roadmap, every class adds value, every test measures progress, and every day moves you closer to your goal.
Good evening. You were there in the last lecture? No. Okay, so today we are going to start with sessions 3, that is on unit 7, 8 and 9. Okay. Yeah. So in the last session we did I guess unit up to unit 6. Okay, first and second we had done in the first session, and after that we did in the second session. Is it visible? Blood. Okay, so what is unit 7? Any idea? No idea. Okay, this is the first attempt, I think, in 27. Okay, 28. Okay, so you have recently joined. Okay, you are taking classes also. Okay, so 7 is about, see, anthropology is divided into 4 branches. Okay, you know, one is biological anthropology, second is socio-cultural. You know, anthropology is study of what? Human beings. Okay, it is the study of humankind in all its aspects. Okay, so to study the humankind we do it systematically by dividing anthropology into 4 major branches. One is biological anthropology, that deals with the biological aspects of human beings. Second is socio-cultural, it deals with socio-cultural aspect of human beings. Are you getting what is socio-cultural? Cultural aspect, basically. Means society, yeah, belief system, etc. Now third is linguistic anthropology. So that studies human languages in their cultural context. Third is linguistic. It studies languages in their cultural context. There is a separate discipline that is called linguistics. Okay, linguistics is just about language. Linguistic anthropology is about language in cultural context. And fourth is archaeological anthropology. These are the four major branches. Archaeological anthropology, it is about humans past. Now you must have heard about a discipline called archaeology. Okay, so how it is different? Archaeological anthropology, it is different from archaeology because it takes into account the elements of culture also. Okay, so everything, even the study of the language, study of the human past, everything is done in the cultural context. Okay, so these are the four major branches. Now your paper 1, you have two papers, you know, paper 1 and paper 2. Each carries 250 marks. Now this paper 1 is divided into, subject matter of paper 1 is divided into these four branches. One is physical or biological. Second is socio-cultural, linguistic and archaeological. We have discussed the major part of biological anthropology, okay, so far. So biological anthropology part is in your syllabus, if you see, it is from 1.4 to 1.7, okay. Your syllabus is divided like this, okay. You have unit 1. All this is repetition of previous sessions, okay. In the previous sessions we discussed, unit 1 is divided into 1.1 to 1.8. Then unit 2 is divided into 2.1 to 2.5. Then you have unit 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then 11 is divided into 11.1 to 11.3 and then 12. These are the 12 units in your paper 1. Amongst this, your biological anthropology portion is unit 1.4 to unit 1.7, then unit 9, 10, 11 and 12. Okay, this we have discussed in the first session. We will be discussing unit 9 today, okay, and this will be discussed in the next. We are going unit wise, okay, we are not going branch wise. Now socio-cultural anthropology, that I'll discuss again later on. Regarding linguistic anthropology, you have only one unit, that is unit 7, that we are going to discuss today. And archaeological anthropology, it is 1.8. Got it? 1.8 from unit 1. The last subunit of unit 1 is archaeological anthropology. So now we will begin with unit 7, that is about linguistic anthropology. First, we will see the syllabus. This is your unit 7 of paper 1. Now here it is mentioned culture, language and communication. Okay, this is the heading, and under this they have given nature, origin and characteristics of language, verbal and non-verbal communication, and then social context of language use. So from this section usually they ask a 10 marker, okay, not each year. Usually they ask a 10 marker in alternate year. But nowadays they are asking even 15 markers also, we'll see, okay. Have you understood this? What is culture, language, and communication? What is culture? Society. Both are same. Culture is, yeah, in very basic way, if we say, it is shared and learned way of living. Of a group of people. This is for general discussion, okay? But in anthropology, you have a unit, that is unit 2.1. It is entirely about the nature of culture, okay? So there you have to focus on scholarly definition, like one was given by E.B. Tyler. So that is what you have to mug up. Then another one is by Clifford Gage. So that you need to remember and produce in the exam. So culture is shared way of living. What is language? Way of, means of communication, right? Okay. Okay. And what is communication? Others, okay. Okay, means basically you are transmitting your ideas, okay. Now all three are given together here, okay. Means what? In linguistic anthropology, unlike linguistics, we see that language, culture, and human thought means cognition. We don't look at them separately, okay? They are mutually constitutive of one another, okay? They form a feedback type of loop. Like culture is dependent on language, language in turn influences culture, and both are then dependent or influences thought also, okay? So they form a feedback type of loop. This is the basic idea of linguistic anthropology. Now we'll see what questions have been asked. Yeah, so these are all questions from linguistic anthropology. So in 2025, UPSC has asked, describe briefly the theoretical perspectives in linguistic anthropology to explain the relationship between culture, language, and thought. Now, to explain this relationship, I told you that these are mutually constitutive of one another. Now, to explain this, there are various theoretical perspectives also. Anyone who knows? All of you are new ones. Okay. So there are various theoretical perspectives. One is, famous one is Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. UPSC has asked question on this multiple times, you see here. It says that language influences thought. This is also called as linguistic relativity or determinism. That is, language is influencing human thought. Now, another theoretical perspective is that is called cognitive universalism. This is entirely contrary to Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. This was given by Noam Chomsky and Pinker. You need to remember these scholars also, okay? Whenever you are writing anthropology answer, you need to mention these scholars. So they say that all human brains are same. plus from this only it flows that there is a universal grammar. For example, they say that you don't teach a child, okay, a language. With time, the child gradually adopts that language. So that idea is based on this. Pinker says that language is like an instinct. Okay. Now there is another theoretical one is by Boas, that is cultural relativism, by French Boas. Another is structuralism. This we had discussed while discussing Unit 6, okay, cultural relativism. Then one is one says that one scholar is there, his name is Del Himes. He says that communicative competence is also necessary. Grammar alone is not sufficient. All of them are focusing on grammar, and he is saying that apart from the grammar, communicative competence is also necessary. So these are the various theoretical paradigms, okay, perspectives in linguistic anthropology. Now there is another one that is, this is related to your dating method. It has come here, glottochronology. This is related to your Unit 8. We'll see now, okay. Then 20, is it clear so far? These are the various theoretical perspectives you have to learn, okay, in linguistic anthropology. This is a small chapter only. Same thing will be repeated. Every year if you see, the nature of the questions are same, just they have asked them in the different fashion. This was a bit comprehensive question, that's why I discussed. Now coming to the next one, in 2021 they have asked, mention the major branches of linguistic anthropology and discuss language use in social and cultural settings. Okay, so different branches means the same thing, you have to elaborate. Then Sapir-Whorf hypothesis, the same we discussed now. So usually they ask 10 marker, now say 2021 and 2025 they have asked a 15 marker. 2020 they asked even a 20 marker. Explain how variations in language usage is linked to social inequality. Can anyone tell how language use is linked to social inequality? An example from your day-to-day life? Huh? No, but how does it shows social inequality? हाँ बिल्कुल, इस पे एक स्टडी है, तो हाँ वो सही है, उसके अलावा व्हाट एल्स? No, how usage is different. Here you have to focus on language usage. Like in Hindi you use tu, tum and aap, okay? This is for, this tu is showing what? Whom do you address by tu? Yeah, in English you use you. That is common for everyone, okay? But here we are using different pronouns. And these pronouns some way are suggesting social inequality. How? Tu is basically either you use it with friends. Yeah, so this is showing intimacy, that you are closer to that person, okay? Or either you use this with some subordinate, okay, whom you don't want to give much respect. Similarly, tum is something in between tu and aap. Aap is for very elders or respected. Similarly, there are various suffixes also, like G. Okay, when you are using G means you are giving some respect. Then, if one of your friend is getting selected, okay, and next time when you are meeting him, so you usually add Sahab, all these salutations. So there are various other examples also and theories also. So you don't have to just show the example, you have to write arguments also, and then you have to substantiate with examples. There are various scholars also related to this. Coming to the next one, 2019 they asked the relationship between linguistics and socio-cultural anthropology. So this basically pertains to your unit 7 plus unit 1.2. Your unit 1.2 is about relationship of anthropology with other disciplines. Anthro with other disciplines. So in this 6 disciplines are mentioned in your syllabus. So this is about relation between linguistics and socio-cultural anthropology. Then 2018, what is relation? Just now we discussed. Here we are more concerned about use of language in cultural context, not simply about the language. Then 2018, UPSC has asked, critically examine that structure and content of language are influenced by culture. This is the same thing, okay? That how they are mutually constitutive of each other. This is the same idea, that how structure and content of language are influenced by the culture. How it is influenced by the culture? In some languages, in some societies, certain aspects are more important. Okay, I am writing it very briefly. Now for these important aspects, that society has multiple words. Okay, for example, I'll take an example. There is a society called Inuit. Eskimos, you know, Eskimos in Arctic region. No? So they, in their society, ice is very important, snow. Snow is very important, so they have n number of words for snow. For example, they have different word for melting snow. They have different word for fresh snow. Then there are various words because for their ecology and society, snow is very important. Now, contrary to them, if you ask a South Indian person, so for them every snow is they have one word only, snow. Okay, so that way, the structure and content. There are various other examples also. Now here there is idea of feminist anthropologists also. They say that contrary to males, females use different kind of languages. And there are critique also regarding this. Suppose, for example, Suppose in 1 year you got 85 marks in your mains anthropology exam. Okay, so if you are going to tell your male friend about this, so what he will say, that next time solve more mock test papers, do more revision, something like that. So he will focus on solving your problem, right? Now if you say the same thing to your female friend, so what happens? She will first empathize with you, that this is a bad thing that happened to you, and then they will proceed to here, okay, problem solving. So there are many anthropologists, they say that even the usage, this content of the language is influenced by it differs between the male and female, and then there are various critique to them also. For example, a female IPS officer, now her language in office would be different than when she is dealing with her children, okay? So that way it is not that, even similarly it is for a male IPS officer also. If he is on ground, then his language would be different than he is when he is dealing with his children. So these are certain critiques also. Now coming to next one, non-verbal communication. So in anthropology, non-verbal communication is given very much importance as much as language. So what role non-verbal communication has in communication? So what does it do? These are the various ways what you are telling. What role it has? Yeah, so you get an idea about the mood of the person, okay? Mood or state of the person. Apart from this, suppose you have exam and then you go to your mother and tell her that I want to go to play cricket. So what will happen? She will say, "Haan, ja khel le." But that doesn't mean that she is allowing you to go and play, okay? So there, the gesture would be important more than language, right? So there are various other significances of non-verbal communication, and there are various types also of non-verbal communication. So that you have to learn here, types and significance. Then 2015 they have asked, explain the difference between emic and etic. This is a concept in anthropology, emic and etic. This is taken from linguistics. There is a scholar, his name is Kenneth Pike. So he took this from linguistics. Now emic means from insider's perspective. Etic means your perspective. Suppose you are going to study a society. Now, if they are performing some ritual, so you will go and observe and then you will put your own observation, okay, in your study. That is etic view. We call it etic view, means what is your perspective about that particular thing. Emic is about you will ask them, okay, why this is significant for you, all such questions. Then you will get to know that why they are performing that ritual rather than you writing your own version, okay. So that is insider perspective. And one of the characteristic of anthropology is that it combines emic perspective with etic perspective, okay. So we take into account emic perspective also when we are describing any culture. So these are the all questions that have been asked from Unit 7 in the last 10 years. Okay. Any doubt? No. So this was the basic about linguistic anthropology. Moving to the next one. This is Unit 8. Unit 8 is about research methods in anthropology. Research methods in anthropology. Now these research methods, they overlap between your biological plus sociocultural, okay? But largely we classify them as part of sociocultural anthropology, okay? So in research method, there is first one, fieldwork tradition in anthropology. Any idea what is it? इसके अलावा क्या हो सकता है? हाँ, फील्ड वर्क मीन्स बेसिकली कि आप फील्ड में जा रहे हो, okay? Going to the field to study a particular culture. Yeah, so going to society, going to that. Then you are living there long term, plus you are participating in their day-to-day life. For this you need to learn their vernacular language. Then if you are not understanding anything, you will ask them about why they are doing that particular thing. So that is emic perspective. So all these things are we do in under fieldwork. Now why we do fieldwork? Accurate information. Now suppose there is a society, there is a culture, and someone else has studied it. So why you are again going to do the field work? To experience that. See, in Unit 6, the last theory is about postmodernism. Okay. So under this, we learn about a concept that is called reflexivity and deconstruction. UPSC has asked a question also on deconstruction. So this postmodern anthropologists, they say that whenever someone is studying a particular culture, they put their inherent biases in their study. Okay, earlier, the first theory is classical evolutionism, okay, in Unit 6. Okay, so in this theory, those scholars who belong to classical evolutionism, they were called armchair anthropologists. They didn't go to field, okay? They relied on others' account. Now, due to their relying on others' account, all those biases came into their own conclusions also. Okay, so after that, this fieldwork tradition started. And we also say that with the fieldwork, anthropology became more scientific. because we wanted to generate empirical data, okay, about a culture. So that way it became more scientific. So coming here, this postmodernism, they say that all the ethnographers, they put their inherent biases in their study. And for that, we need to deconstruct that study. Deconstruction means reading that critically to make out inherent biases and contradictions. Reflexivity is related to this. Reflexivity means you expressly mention your biases and status and prejudices and all. Okay. So this is about fieldwork tradition in anthropology. And there is a famous anthropologist, his name is Bronislaw Malinowski. You will study about him in Theory of Functionalism. Okay, Malinowski. Have you heard this name earlier? No. So he is credited with starting fieldwork tradition in anthropology. Now this fieldwork tradition in anthropology has also evolved with time. Okay. What Malinowski did was the basic thing. Later on, you will see in the questions UPSC is asked about multi-sited and critical ethnography. Related to fieldwork is a term called ethnography. What is ethno? Ethno means people. And what is graphy? No, that is logos. Graphy means description. So you are studying a set of people and then you are describing about them. That is ethnography. So now in 2025, they asked about the multi-sited ethnography. So earlier what used to happen, that you go to one society and you live there and you study about them. Now due to globalization, if you want to study about Kerala population or Kerala culture, so few of the people are there in Kerala, while others have migrated to, few have migrated to Gulf states, few have migrated to USA. So you go to all these places and you study these Kerala people, right? Multi-sited means you are studying them at multiple places. So this is multi-sited ethnography. Another one is critical. Critical means you are doing ethnography from a critical angle. Critical angle means you are finding out who are subordinated. You are more concerned about the power equations. So that way you are doing the ethnography. So all these are different kinds of ethnographies. One is experimental ethnography. Then one is experiential ethnography. So all these different types of ethnographies you have to study. Experiential means you are focusing on the experiences, what the exact experiences, your subject's experience, okay? Suppose you are studying about this Kawariyas, you know? No? They go to Haridwar putting this. Yeah, so if you want to study them, so what you will do in experiential ethnography, that you don't go and just ask them questions, okay? You also go barefoot with them so that you can experience the pain and joy, what they are feeling, okay? So that way, so this is experiential. There are various other ethnographies also. Then second is distinction between technique, method and methodology. Okay, this is just definition based. We will study in Unit 8. Then tools of data collection. Okay, first what you do, you collect data, then you analyze the data, then you present the data and you make a conclusion. Okay, this is basic format of any study. So in 8C, your syllabus is tools of data collection. Here you can collect data through observation, interview, schedules, questionnaire, case study, genealogy, life history, oral history, secondary sources of information. This is what I discussed about the armchair anthropologist. They relied on data given by missionaries, merchants and all. These are secondary sources, not primary sources. Okay. Then participatory method. This is participant observation, related to field work only, that you go to field and then you participate. Then after this, analysis, interpretation and presentation of data. Same thing. This is interpretation and conclusion. So this is your syllabus of Unit 8. Now we'll see PYQs related to them. Yeah, so in 2025, they asked multi-species, multi-sited and critical ethnography. Multi-sited we discussed. What is multi-species? Species of anthropology is concerned about human beings. So why we are being concerned about other species? There is an idea nowadays within anthropology that is called post-human anthropology. Post-human means we are moving away from anthropocentrism. Earlier what we used to do is, we used to keep humans at center, okay? And then we used to see whether other species are of our utility or not. Now they say that human is just one part of the ecology. And all other species are equally valuable. So this multi-species ethnography, it is concerned with human ecology and other species interaction. Okay. So this is the broad idea. Multi-sited we discussed, critical we discussed. Then 2024, they have asked about discuss the contemporary challenges in the fieldwork method in anthropological research. Okay, 2020 they have asked similar question, experiential ethnography. Okay, just now I discussed. So they are nowadays they are asking these different types of ethnographies. Okay, they are prefixing like multi-species, multi-sited, critical, experiential. So you have to learn about all these different ethnographies. So 2024 they have asked discuss the contemporary challenges in fieldwork method in anthropological research. So what are the challenges? Any one of you? What challenges can come regarding fieldwork? Killed. Who will kill them? Yeah, first is issue of informed consent. like we value our privacy, okay, we should value their privacy also. So before studying them, we should take informed consent. What is informed consent? And what is consent? How both are different? Consent means, yeah, you are taking permission. And informed consent means you have properly informed that person regarding what you are taking permission. Suppose whenever you are clicking on some form, there is a box that I agree to all terms and conditions, okay? And whatever 3-4 pages are mentioned there, you are not reading about it. So that is not informed consent, okay? Similarly, if a doctor is giving you a sheet and then asking you to sign it here, and then he will write something above it, so that is not informed consent. You have to be explained all those alternative treatment options, then what are the risks and all these things. So after describing all these things, if somebody is taking your consent, that is the idea of informed consent. So these are the challenges related to fieldwork method. Then there are other challenges also that we'll see when we'll study Unit 8. Then 2024, UPSC has asked discuss the applicability of various sampling techniques. What is sampling? Any idea? No idea. Suppose there is, you want to study population of New Delhi. Okay. Now in New Delhi, suppose there is 1 crore people. So you are not going to study whole of 1 CR. Okay. So you will get a sample out of this 1 crore people, a representative sample. That this sample should be as close to the all attributes of this population. So this is called sampling. Now there are various methods about this sampling. There is a simple sampling method. There is stratified, random sampling. There are various methods. Okay. So this is about various sampling techniques in selecting the study groups. Then 23, critically discuss the controversies related to fieldwork of Bronislaw Malinowski and Margaret Mead. There are 2 scholars in your anthropology. Unit 6, you will study about them. Malinowski is related to functionalism. I just told you that he started fieldwork tradition. And there is another scholar, Margaret Mead. She is related to culture and personality school. This is an anthropological theory, okay, in your syllabus. There are total A to J. These many theories are there in your Unit 6. So these 2 scholars are related to different anthropological theories, and they have done fieldwork in different societies. Malinowski did in Trowbridge and Islanders. You need to remember all these terms. Okay. And Margaret Mead, she did study in Samoa. Her book is Coming of Age in Samoa. So there are few controversies. Okay, there was a diary published in 1967 written by Malinowski. In that he had expressed his frustration and all. And similarly, there is another scholar, his name is Freeman. So he had criticized the conclusions of Margaret Mead, that whatever she has written, she was misguided by her informants. Okay, so these are the basic controversies. Now you can relate these controversies with postmodern ideas. That whether an ethnographic study by one scholar is sufficient to understand that culture or not. Okay. Then 23, describe various methods of qualitative data analysis. What is data analysis? Analysis of data. This can be qualitative and quantitative. An example of qualitative. Quantitative means suppose there is data 3, 6, 9, something like that. So you are doing that in quantitative terms. Qualitative means what? Yeah, but what? Give one example. What can be a qualitative data? There is no exact number, okay? You suppose some participant has mentioned about his feelings, okay? Something like that which you can't quantify. So that is qualitative data. So on that question, UPSC has asked question, different various methods of qualitative data analysis highlight some popular computer softwares used in qualitative analysis. Now they are asking very questions of very contemporary nature, whatever is being used in anthropology. Okay. Earlier, if you see, they have asked very, routine questions. They kept appearing earlier, and if you prepare them, you can write answers. But nowadays, multi-species, multi-sited, then this qualitative data analysis, all these you need to be aware of. Then 2023, discuss political and methodological aspect of national character study. This is also related to your Unit 6. This Unit 6, it forms backbone of your socio-cultural anthropology. All theories are here. Now somehow you will find that this Unit 6 is linked to all other parts of your socio-cultural anthropology syllabus. Now national character study is an idea related to a scholar called Ruth Benedict. During World War II, Americans asked her to study Japanese culture. Now it was not possible for Americans to go in Japan and study the culture doing the field work. So she watched many films, interacted with Japanese people. She read many books, and based on all these observations, she wrote a book, The Chrysanthemum and the Sword. What is chrysanthemum? It is a flower. It is a flower that is emblem of Japan. And sword is sword. So both are quite opposite. One is about flower and another one is about sword. So she showed that these two elements are present in Japanese culture. But she underlined that these two are not different. They are saying the same pattern about that particular culture. Okay. Here also, though they are kid, but they are taught discipline. Okay. They are taught value about nationality and all. And when they grow adult, they practice all this through use of sword, okay, in the war. So the basic values are same even in the childhood, and that gets reflected in the wartime also. This approach is called configuration approach. I am just telling you bits and pieces. Okay. Next is participatory rural appraisal and participatory learning and action PLA. So this is about rural development. Participatory means your subjects are participants in your study. Okay. And participatory learning and action means you are not doing the study at one particular point of time, you are going to do it repeatedly. Okay. Is it making sense? No? You? Then 2022 they asked, write the historical development of fieldwork tradition. Now, as I told you, classical evolutionists, they were armchair anthropologists. After that, there is a very famous expedition that is called Torres Strait Expedition. But here it was not proper fieldwork, it was expedition style fieldwork. It was not long term. After that came Malinowski. Then after that, there is a school called Manchester School. So here what you do, you see a culture like movie rather than photograph. Means you visit that particular culture repeatedly and you try to find various hidden elements of that particular culture. After that came postmodernist, and now multi-species, multi-sited and all. Okay, so this way you can write about the historical development of fieldwork tradition in anthropology till recent times. Then 2021 they asked, discuss various tools of data collection. This is mentioned in your syllabus, right? Observation, case study, genealogy, just now we saw. Then 2020 experiential ethnography that we discussed. 2020 they again asked interpretation and presentation of data, how it changed from classical to contemporary writings. So this is all from your fieldwork. I think there are few more questions. Yeah, there are. 2019 they have asked, evaluate participant observation in producing anthropological knowledge. Can anyone tell what will you write in this answer? Just basic framework. What will you write in introduction? Fieldwork? Say loudly. In introduction, you can either define participant observation, okay, or you can write about fieldwork tradition, okay. Then in body, what all aspects will you be writing? Yeah, significant. So significant means positives, only positives. Yeah, it is about evaluate. So you have to write about the significant plus concerns and shortcomings also, and then conclusion. And while writing all these, you have to mention scholars, then examples of ethnographic studies and all. Okay. 2019 they asked about the phenomenology as a research method in anthropological studies. What is this? Phenomenology. कोई भी इवेंट फिनोमिना से नहीं, it is about study of lived experiences. Okay, how people felt. So you are more concerned about that. Okay. So how it is a useful research methodology that you have to discuss. Then 2018 define ethnography and present a brief history of ethnographic studies. Same thing, this is about fieldwork tradition, right? 2018, what is case study method? Helpful, how is case study method is helpful in understanding a social phenomena? Discuss with suitable example. What is case study? What is case? Anyone from medical background? Yeah, particular. Yeah, you study a particular situation deeply. Suppose there is a patient suffering from particular disorder, so you will study everything about that. That is a case study, and how it is helpful in understanding a social phenomena. So you have to write both sides, positive and negative. That what are the limitations of case study method? Okay. Then questionnaire. What is questionnaire? Asking questions. Questionnaire means what? It is like a survey. Okay. At various these sites also you will find that about user experience. They pose 5-6 questions that did you like buying product from our site? Something like, yeah, feedback kind of thing. So similarly, there are various questions devised for study, okay. If you want to study a particular aspect, so you will devise 10-15 questions and you will distribute it to your subjects of study, and then you collect and analyze. Then 17, they asked basic characteristics of anthropological fieldwork methods that we discussed. Can anyone just tell me what are the basic characteristics? Just now I had discussed. One is your long-term participant observation. Okay. Then you are learning about their vernacular language. Then emic perspective. Right? All these are various basic characteristics of anthropological fieldwork. Then 2016, they asked describe the evolution of fieldwork tradition. We discussed just, I think in the previous slide, historical development of fieldwork tradition. The same question was repeated, just they had changed the wordings. Then 2014 fieldwork tradition in anthropology. 2014 genealogical method. Any idea what is it? Genealogical, no, not gene. Genealogy means there is a anthropologist reverse. So he said that if you go to a society, non-Western society, and if you ask them what is your inheritance pattern, how you trace your descent, all these direct questions, they won't understand your question only. Okay. So you will never get to know about how they organize their kinship, they organize their society. So he found a method. He said that just ask about their names and who marries whom and how they call them. Okay. So suppose you met a person, you will ask him, what is your mother's name? Okay. Then whom your mother has married. So he will tell that person, she has married that person. Then you will find that in that particular society, all these women are marrying outside their village. Okay. Suppose a type of pattern is emerging. So you will get to know that this particular society is practicing village exogamy. Okay. If you ask these questions from multiple people, and then you will analyze, so you will find that a particular pattern is emerging. So you can get to know that this particular society is practicing village exogamy. Now, if you ask that person that what do you call the person who is married to your mother? So he says that I call him Bap or something. Okay. Now there is another person, okay, living in that house, and if you ask him that what do you call that person, and if he is saying that that person is also Bap only. Okay. So now father and uncle is being called by the same name. So you will get to know that this society is practicing classificatory kinship terms. Okay, got it? So by asking all these questions only, you are getting to know about the society. That is called genealogical method. 2013, they discussed the relevance of case study method of data collection. We discussed it. Then 2013, what are the tools of data collection? We had discussed this. This is based on your syllabus only. Discuss the advantages and limitation of participant observation as a technique of data collection. This is all about Unit 8. Phenomenology. It is about the, I'll write again. It is concerned about the lived experiences. Okay, you are focusing more on the lived experiences and feelings of your subjects of study. Now in Unit 7, if you see, Unit 7 is about linguistic anthropology. So there most of the questions are what used to be asked previously. Okay, there is not much change. Regarding Unit 8, now they are asking newer and reflexive forms. Reflexive forms means they are asking questions which are away from traditional ethnography. Reflexive is related to postmodernism, I discussed. So anything which is not related to traditional ethnography, if you are reading about it, please make a note of it. Like multi-species, multi-sited, critical ethnography, they have asked in 2025, 2020, experiential ethnography in 2020, phenomenology as method 2019, qualitative analysis software, and fieldwork controversies. Earlier questions were about just fieldwork tradition. Okay, now they are asking very specific question about history of this. Also they had asked previously. This controversy one was the new one. So turn is towards reflexivity, then ethics. Ethics we discussed regarding challenges related to fieldwork tradition. Okay, informed consent issue and all, and postmodern ethnography. This you need to focus, okay? Repeatedly questions are appearing from this topic, postmodern ethnography. So this is all about your Unit 7 and 8. Any question so far? Now coming to Unit 9. Unit 9 is divided, this is a big unit. it is divided into 8 subunits. Unit 9.1 to 9.8. Now from 9.1 to 9.4, this is related to human genetics. Nine point five is about race. Then 9.6, 9.7 and 9.8. This is about ecological and epidemiological anthropology. Now, many things from this unit 9, it gets repeated in unit 12 also, we'll see. Few 2-3 items are there, which are here also, and you have to study in unit 12 also. So let's see. 9.1 is about human genetics. Under it, you have to study methods and application. Methods for study of genetic principles in man-family study. These are the various methods: pedigree analysis, twin study, foster child, co-twin, cytogenetic method, then chromosomal and karyotyping analysis. Okay, these are the various methods to study man-family, methods used in man-family study. Again, they have mentioned another methods like biochemical, immunological, DNA, and recombinant technology. Any idea what is DNA? What is DNA? What is it? Deoxyribo, what is it? It is, yeah, it is genetic material. What is gene? What is chromosome? Which one is bigger? Chromosome or DNA or gene? कौन किस पे होता है? जीन डीएनए में होता है. Okay, okay. So a bigger unit is chromosome. Okay. Over it you will find DNA, and over it you will find genes. And what are alleles? These are the various variants of gene. Okay. How many chromosomes we have? 52. How many? Humans have 46 chromosomes. Okay. These are arranged in 23 pairs. Okay. And we divide them as autosomes and sex chromosomes. Autosomes, auto means similar. So they are of similar type. And these are not similar. In females they are similar, XX. In males they are different, XY. So this is basic. Okay, so in human genetics, now this is the very foundational idea. Here you have to mainly focus on methods of study of genetic principles in man-family study. All these are methods only. Okay. So we will see that what are the principles about pedigree analysis, what are its advantages, then what are its limitations and all. Okay. In which situation we use these different kinds of methods. Then 9.2 is about Mendelian genetics. Who was Mendel? हाँ हाँ पी के ऊपर इनको फादर ऑफ जेनेटिक्स बोलते हैं. He gave 3 laws. Remember? 3 laws of inheritance. First is law of segregation, Second is law of independent assortment. And third is about law of dominance. Any idea about this? Mitosis, meiosis? What is mitosis? Mitosis? नहीं, आप में किसी का भी बायो नहीं है. Mitosis is about division of body cells. Body cells means autosomes. Okay. Meiosis is about division of here what happens that one cell it divides twice and forms 4 gametes. From one we are getting 4. This is meiosis. In mitosis, one is dividing into 2. We'll see this in much detail later on. So 9.2 is about Mendelian genetics. Under this, you have to study single factor inheritance. Factor means gene, okay? Factor means gene or allele. Factor means whatever is expressing a particular trait. So you have to study about single factor inheritance, multi-factor. Sometimes what happens is a particular trait like height, it is controlled by only one gene. So that is single factor inheritance. Skin color is another trait. Trait means what is visible, okay? Phenotype, it is also called phenotype. So skin color, it is controlled by multiple genes. So that is multi-factor inheritance, okay? Then lethal, sublethal genes. Lethal means which kills you, okay? Sublethal means which doesn't kill you but causes some kind of morbidity. Then polygenic. Polygenic is type of multi-factor only. There is little bit difference. Polygenic means, poly means multiple, genic means genes. So multiple genes are deciding a phenotype. And multi-factor means, multi means multiple, factor means factor. Multiple factors are deciding a trait. So what is difference? Here it is about multiple genes. Here it is about multiple factors. So here we are concerned about the environment also. Apart from multiple genes, there is contribution of environment also. Then 9.3, it is about concept of genetic polymorphism and selection. Here you will study about what constitutes a Mendelian population. Okay, this is a concept. Then this one is very important, Hardy-Weinberg law. There is a law in genetics. So that says this is about population genetics. Is it difficult to understand? This is about population genetics. It says that suppose there is a population, okay? So it says that the gene frequency of this population remains stable under certain condition, okay? And then there are certain disturbing conditions mentioned, that if these conditions come into play, gene frequency of the population will change, such as if mutation happens, if genetic drift happens, if this population meets with some other population, that is called gene flow. Okay, if there is random mating, all these aspects are there which will change the gene frequency of that particular population. So this Hardy-Weinberg law, and the next one is related to Hardy-Weinberg law only, that causes and changes which bring down the frequency, gene frequency of the population, that is mutation, isolation, migration, selection, inbreeding and genetic drift. So all these individual factors we have to study in much detail. What is mutation? Change in gene over a period of time. Mutation means change in DNA sequence. This DNA is made up of multiple base pairs. Okay, these are multiple base pairs. Suppose something happens and in place of this TG comes. So now it will become AGGC. Okay. So the sequence is changing from ATGC, it has changed to AGGC. Okay. So this is any change in DNA sequence is called mutation. Then migration, selection, I think all of you know. Inbreeding, genetic drift. Then consanguineous and non-consanguineous mating. What is consanguineous? What is consanguine? Consanguine means related by blood. So if there is a marriage between those related by blood, suppose sister, brother, okay, father, daughter, these marriages are tabooed. This is called incest taboo. This topic is there in your 2.5, kinship. Okay. Now incest taboo, there are various theories about incest taboo, that why incest taboo exists in society. So one of the theory is biological theory that is linked with consanguineous mating. Okay. There are various cultural theories also. Then genetic load, genetic effect of consanguineous and cousin marriages. Cousin marriages, you know, it is more prevalent in which region of India? Yeah, South India. Yeah, in Egypt also. In Egypt, this was very rampant, consanguineous mating. In South India, we have cousin marriages. Cousins can be of two types. One is parallel cousin and one is cross cousin. These are terms we use in anthropology. Parallel cousins means fathers, brothers, son or daughter. Okay, that is parallel cousin. Here, fathers, sisters, daughter or son, or mother's brother, means here the gender is changing. Okay, yeah, so that is called cross cousin. 9.4 is about aberrations in chromosome. Okay, chromosomal aberrations. So A is about numerical and structural. Any aberration means anomaly in a chromosome can happen in its number or in its structure, right? Suppose in place of 23 pairs, someone has 25 pairs. So that is sort of numerical aberration. Similarly, structure of chromosome. Suppose there is one arm this big and another arm this small. So that way structural aberration can happen. Now B and C about details of numerical and structural. So B is about sex chromosomal aberration. Under it you have to study about various syndromes. What is syndrome? No, syndrome per se is that a certain set of symptoms which occur together. Suppose in an infection you are getting sore throat, fever, chills and all. If this is happening concurrently in every patient, so that forms a syndrome. It is a set of symptoms which occur together every time. Now here various syndromes appear due to sex chromosomal aberrations, so that you have to study. First is Klinefelter, then Turner, superfemale, intersex and other syndromic disorders. Then similarly there are few syndromes related to aberrations in autosomes. Here this is about aberrations in sex chromosomes. That is Down syndrome, Patau, Edward and Krajicek. These are the various syndromes. Here we have to study the mechanism, okay? Why it is happening. Okay. Then its chromosomal pattern, then its clinical features. Okay, all these things we'll be studying about syndromes. Then genetic imprint in human disease. One concept is about genetic imprinting. You get one allele from your father and one allele from your mother. Okay? Right? Now somehow this one allele can get silenced or muted. Means it won't be functionally significant. So that is the idea of genetic imprinting. So if anything, only one allele is functional, and now if anything happens to this one allele, there is sudden appearance of symptoms. So this is the idea of genetic imprinting. Regarding chromosome 15, you have two syndromes. One is Prader-Willi and one is Angelman. That we will study under genetic imprinting of human disease. Then another topic is genetic screening, genetic counseling, then human DNA profiling, gene mapping and genomic study. What is genetic screening? Screening means your prelims is a screening test. Screening means filtering out. Yeah, so filtering out those who have not favorable genes. Suppose there is a population where the prevalence of sickle cell anemia is more. So there you are filtering out those people who have this sickle cell genes. What is genetic counseling? Suppose there is a person who has some genetic anomaly. And now if this person is producing children, there are more chances that this genetic anomaly will go to those children also. So for that you will do some counseling about how to prevent it and all. Yeah, so first we do this genetic screening and followed by that we do genetic counseling. Then human DNA profiling, gene mapping and genomic study. Gene mapping means you are mapping particular, suppose a disease is there. Now which particular gene is causing that disease, so that you are mapping. So suppose you have got that on chromosome 11 there is a particular gene that is causing this disease, so that is gene mapping. Then genome study. This is a broad thing. So this is all about 9.1 to 9.4, that is human genetics. Now coming to 9.5, it is about race and racism. What is race? Loosely, whatever you understand by race. Race is division of human population into groups. Into groups based on their biological differences, or you can write based on their phenotypic differences. Phenotypic means biological differences which are apparent externally. Now this is not just division, it is also about what? Yeah, you put one race against other, like European and African. So you are basically discriminating people based on their phenotypic character. Phenotype means, you know, what is genotype and phenotype? There are two terms in genetics. One is genotype. Genotype means, suppose you have a particular height, okay? So now for this height, genotype can be, these two are alleles for height. It can be like this, it can be like this, or it can be like this, okay? This is not visible to your eyes. This is genotype. Now what is apparent to you is phenotype. At whether you are very tall, you are of medium stature, or you are dwarf. Understood? So this is idea of what is apparent is phenotype. Apparent externally. So now race is biological or cultural? Racism is a cultural construct. Earlier, the founder of anthropology, physical anthropology, Bloom and Bagh. हाँ फिनोटाइपिक है, फिनोटाइपिक के बेसिस पे आप डिवाइड कर रहे हैं, बट रेसिज्म मीन्स योर डिस्क्रिमिनेशन थिंग इज कल्चरल. ओके, all these people are, they are now, one European is not superior to African, okay, and African is not inferior to. Nowadays if you see, especially H&M, their models are all which skin tone? They are not like Europeans, okay, they have darker skin tone. So there are many fairness brands also who are employing models of darker skin tone. So that is just to rebel against the idea of racism. Okay, that lighter skin tone is not superior. So racism is cultural. But these biological variations, they are real or not? These biological variations are real, right? Skin color is varying. One has white skin, one has black skin or brown skin. So these biological variations are real, but this idea of racism, that is discrimination, this is cultural. You have culturally made one phenotypic characteristic superior to another one. Okay. So this is the broad agreement nowadays. Under this you have to learn about biological basis of morphological variation of non-metric, and here it should be metric. They have omitted the word. Non-metric characteristics means which you can't measure, like skin tone. Metric means height, which you can measure. Then racial criteria. Various anthropologists have given various racial criteria. One is like shape of nose, then texture of hair, then shape of eye and all. Then racial traits in relation to heredity and environment, that how heredity and environment affect racial traits. Then biological basis of racial classification, racial differentiation and race crossing in men. From this unit you will find fixed questions appearing. Okay, if you prepare them, each year they are asking the same type of questions. The 9.6 is about age, sex and population variation as genetic markers. It is basically about genetic marker. Various genetic markers are given: ABO, Rh plus group, HLA, then HP transferring, GM, blood enzymes, then physiological characteristics like hemoglobin level, body fat, pulse rate, respiratory function and sensory perceptions in different socio-cultural, different cultural and socio-economic groups. Okay, these are the basics of biology. 9.7 is about ecological anthropology. Under this, we study about biocultural adaptations. Adaptation means, what is adaptation? How you are adjusting to any particular situation. Like adapting in old Rajendra Nagar from your house when you are coming, so you will be finding various issues like water is not coming, food is not proper. So some sort of adaptation you are doing. Now, regarding various environmental stresses also, you do adaptation. So 3 are mentioned in your syllabus: hot, desert and cold and high altitude climate. Okay, so regarding this you have to study about genetic and non-genetic factors regarding adaptation and acclimatization. 9.8 is about epidemiological anthropology. What is epidemiology? Epidemiology means why a particular disease is happening in a population you want to study. What are the factors behind it? Who is suffering more? Which social group is suffering more? All this information we get from epidemiology. Here you have to learn about the concept of health and disease, then difference between infectious and non-infectious diseases, then nutritional deficiency related diseases. This is also called nutritional anthropology. You will get this also in unit 12. So this is all about your unit 9. Clear? Now let's see PYQs asked from this. So I have clubbed from 9.1 to 9.4 together, okay, related to human genetics. 2025 there was a basic question, Mendelian and non-Mendelian trait. Okay, so Mendelian trait, this is about your single factor inheritance. Non-Mendelian means traits which don't follow Mendelian pattern of inheritance. So this is basic only. 2025 they have asked about mitochondrial DNA and human evolution. They have linked two topics. One is mitochondrial DNA, that is linked with idea of human evolution. Now, what is mitochondrial DNA? Where is your main DNA residing in your cell? In which organelle? Lysosome, no. In nucleus, okay. Some part of DNA is in mitochondria also. These are the two cell organelles where your DNA stays. Now there is a distinguishing feature of this mitochondrial DNA, that it is inherited only through females. So your mitochondrial DNA will come from mother. Okay. Now if you are a male, you can't transmit this mitochondrial DNA. Okay. This will be transmitted only by daughters. Unlike nuclear DNA, okay, this is transmitted by both male and female. Now related to this mitochondrial inheritance is one hypothesis in human evolution that is called mitochondrial Eve hypothesis. So this hypothesis says that all human population originated from a single female. Okay, that single female is called mitochondrial Eve. So that is what you have to mention here, mitochondrial DNA and human evolution. Okay, 2025 they have asked what are genetic markers. Okay, these genetic markers just now in syllabus you saw it is in 9.4 I guess. Then discuss their applications in understanding population variation, disease association and forensics. What are genetic markers? Markers means what? What is marker? Marker you use. What does it do? It highlights something. What? No, not that. In your syllabus there are these genetic markers are mentioned, like ABO blood group. This is a genetic marker. How it is a genetic marker? Suppose father has A blood group and mother has B blood group. Okay. So there are fixed possibilities about blood groups of child. Okay. Suppose say this A blood group is written, its genotype is written like this. Either it can be this or it can be this. IA, I0. Should I leave it for other time? Difficult to understand. So this A blood group phenotype, it can be due to these two genotypes. Okay, it can be either both A alleles are in dominant state or it can be in heterozygous state, means A is there and another is recessive. This is called heterozygous. Understood? There are two terms. One is homozygous. Homo means same. So both alleles are same. Suppose for height, two alleles are there. So H and H is there. So this is same. This is also same. So this is homozygous state. Hetero means different. So if for height this genotype is there, so this H is different from this H. Okay. So this is heterozygous. Now for A blood group phenotype, it can be either IA or IA-I0. Similarly for B, it can be IB or IB-I0. So if you cross them, you will get these three possibilities. Either the child will be having A blood group, B blood group, or O blood group. Okay. Now if there is a child with AB blood group, yeah, AB is also possible. Sorry. AB is also possible. So now if there is a child with AB blood group and there is a paternity dispute, so we can use these genetic markers, okay, to solve the paternity dispute. Suppose child is AB and father is O blood group and mother is B blood group. Suppose this is the case, that who is saying that he is the father of the child, his blood group is O and mother is of O blood group. So it is not possible for this couple to have AB blood group child. So that way genetic marker is going to solve the paternity dispute. So this way it is used in forensics also. Suppose there is a dead body recovered, from that you will get to know the blood group and you can trace. It is used in disease association also, population variation also, that few populations have more prevalence of certain particular blood groups, that in few population B is more prominent, in certain A is more prominent. Then there is another concept, gene-wide disease association studies, GWAS. Question is, GWAS advanced our understanding of health and disease. You have to discuss how. Okay, how it has advanced the understanding of health and disease. What is genome-wide disease association studies? Suppose there is a disease, suppose it is diabetes. Now if you want to know that whether this diabetes is due to some genetic problem, so what you will do, from a population you will get say 100 people who are diabetic and another 100 who are not diabetic. Okay, so in this now you will do genome study. So if you find that suppose on chromosome 11 there is a particular gene that is more prevalent in diabetic. Suppose in out of this 100 it is prevalent in 80. Okay, and it is prevalent only in 5 people who are non-diabetic. So you can somehow say that this gene is associated with diabetes. Okay. There is another concept in epidemiology. One is association, one is causation. Association is not always causation, right? It may be associated with, there can be other factors also. It is not causing diabetes per se. Understood? So this is the concept of GWAS. 24 they have asked lethal and sublethal. This is mentioned in your syllabus. 2024 they have asked hemoglobin in health and disease. This is also there in your syllabus, that how hemoglobin is there in health and what is its role in disease. Can you name any hemoglobin disorder? Anything else? There is another one, microcytic anemia and all. Then 24 they have asked what is meant by karyotype. How does its analysis help in diagnosis of chromosomal aberrations? Karyotype means you are getting a picture of chromosomes, okay? that how various chromosomes are looking in a particular person. And how it helps in analysis, that has been asked. Then 24, they've asked about genetic counseling. What is genetic counseling? And briefly discuss various steps involved in it. We will discuss all these later on. We will read. This is from, I think, 9.4. Okay, so in class we will discuss all this. Then 24, they've asked heritability and its estimation. Heritability means if there is a particular phenotypic trait. Phenotypic trait means what is visible outside, okay? So how much you can attribute this to genetics. That is its heritability. So heritability and how it is estimated. Then single gene mutation disorder. There are various examples regarding mutation disorders in single genes. Then what is multifactorial trait? Illustrate your answer with suitable human examples. Okay, first you have to mention what is multifactorial trait, and then you have to mention various examples. Now if you see, all these questions are related to your syllabus only. These terms are mentioned in your syllabus. If you have conceptual clarity, you can easily write an answer. 24, they've asked, describe the genetics and inheritance pattern of ABO and RH. This is also there in your syllabus, right? We'll see few next set of questions. 2023, they have asked about gene expression. I discussed the idea of genetic imprinting, so you can relate it with gene expression also. Okay. Then polygenic inheritance. Describe the practical applications of DNA technology. Can you name any recent DNA technology? Recent one. It is in new. Yeah, CRISPR-Cas9. There are various similar other DNA technologies. 23, they have asked what assumptions must be made for a population to be in genetic equilibrium. This is about Hardy-Weinberg law. Explain the importance of genetic equilibrium. Then 23, they have asked describe the causes of structural abnormalities of chromosome. This is also in your syllabus. This is also in your syllabus. Hardy-Weinberg, okay. Pedigree analysis, this is also in your syllabus. They have linked this with another topic, genetic counseling. Okay, so that way, all you have to do is to get conceptual clarity of terms mentioned in your syllabus. This way you can tackle more than 90% of your questions. Okay, none of these questions are difficult. Everything is mentioned in your syllabus. PDF of answers. Okay, if you want, then you can get it. Balanced and transient genetic polymorphism. This they had asked in 2019 and 2015 also. So most of the questions get repeated also. So that way only you have to focus here and answer writing, right? Don't worry about physical anthropology. Compared to sociocultural, this is much simpler. Then genetic imprinting in human diseases. This is also there in your syllabus. 2022, they have asked what do you understand by blood group system? How is HLA system different from those based on red cell antigen? This is one system which we use in organ transplant. HLA matching. Okay. Human leukocyte antigen. This is about red cell. Red cell is, what is it called? Erythrocyte. It appears red. Erythro means red. So it is called erythrocyte. This L stands for leukocyte. Leuco means white. So this is about white blood cell. There are similarly antigens on white blood cell, that is HLA system. Then 21, explain the genetic mechanism of micro and macro evolution. evolution can happen in microform or macroform. Then 21, chromosomal aberrations can play havoc with the human body and mind. Explain with suitable examples. So you have to here mention various syndromes, that how they affect body and how they affect mind. Okay. Then 2020 about genetic drift. This is also mentioned in your syllabus. 2020, how many numerical chromosomes in how may numerical aberrations in sex chromosomes lead to genetic disorders. So you have to focus here on what you have to write in the last question. Syndromes. So you have to focus on how aspect. So how will you write this? Now you have to focus here on mechanisms. Okay, that you will get a better idea when you will study about it. Coming to next set of questions. (2019) differentiate between transient and balanced. This appeared, I think, in 2024 also. Illustrate your answer with suitable examples from human population. 2018, advanced molecular anthropology techniques. These are the recent ones. You can mention about the CRISPR-Cas9, other molecular anthropology techniques. 2018, categorize genes that influence human survival. Basically, it is about lethal and sublethal. Okay, they have just framed the question differently. 2018, they have asked mechanisms of human variation in gene frequency. This is also about Hardy-Weinberg law. Okay, what are the mechanisms which are affecting the gene frequency? This they have asked in 23 and 2017 also. So you see there are various repetitions. 2018 they have asked describe the mechanism for structural anomalies of autosomes with diagrams. Here question is explicitly mentioned about drawing diagrams. Then 2017 Hardy-Weinberg law, and this has been repeated so many times, 23, 21, 20, 15. Then 2017 briefly describe the various methods used in genetic study of man. This is there in your 9.1, various methods like pedigree analysis, biochemical methods and all. 2016 they have asked about Rh blood group. Same question they asked in 2024 also. Then 2016 critically discussed the Mendelian principles and their application to human population. Now, as I told you that Mendelian principles are applicable in human population in limited manner. Okay, so here you have to discuss that in what conditions they are applicable and in what conditions they are not applicable. In 2015 they have asked about a syndrome, Down syndrome, that is there in your syllabus. 2015 DNA technology in medicine. Then 2015 again chromosomal aberrations in man, illustrating with examples. All these questions are related to your syllabus only. 2015 genetic polymorphism, gave details of its types and suitable examples. Then again 2015, what do you understand by immunogenetics? This is also in your syllabus. Explain with suitable examples. Now in each year if you see, they have asked 4 to 5 questions from unit 9. And without fail they have asked a question from this unit. Okay, in each year questions appear from unit 9. Okay, so this is all from other sections are also there. Yeah, so first we will see that how pattern is changing. Regarding unit 9.1 to 9.4, they are asking more questions from molecular anthropology. What happened? It will come in some time. Yeah, it is about, they are asking more questions from this area, molecular genomic and medical genetics. The application part, okay? Application plus new developments. So you have to, while reading 9.1 to 9.4, you have to focus more on application and newer developments. Like GWS, they asked in 2025, genetic markers in forensic and disease in 2025, mitochondrial DNA and evolution 2025, heritability and its estimation, multifactorial traits, gene expression and genetic imprinting. Should move forward. So this is all about 9.1 to 9.4. Now we'll see 9.5 to 9.8. Note it down. Done. From 9.5, 2023, they have not asked any question in 24 and 25. They have tested two concepts about race and ethnicity, okay, in one question. Then 21, they have asked, is race a valid and biologically meaningful concept? This is related to idea that race is cultural construct. Now related to this only, they have asked multiple questions. 2020, racism and eugenics. What is eugenics? This is the idea that racially superior people should produce more babies. In simple terms, or also that concept of designer babies, that you want babies to have blue eyes, white skin and all, those racial features. In 2019, they have asked, with reference to somatoscopic and morphometric characteristics commonly used for racial classification, make critical comments as to whether race is a valid concept. Same idea, that race is social construct. This they have asked in same theme, they have asked in 21, 18 and 17. 18, they have asked, race is a myth, justify its present day relevance. In 2017, concept of race. 2016, explain the role of heredity and environment in formation of races. Race formation is also given in your syllabus. Okay, so basically it is either this concept or this one, that race is a social construct. Now questions from 9.6 to 8. 25. How political economy is integrated with ecological adaptability perspectives in biocultural anthropology. This was a bit analytical question. Can anyone tell how to write about it? What do you understand by the from this question? What is its demand? Political economy is how political economy is integrated with ecological and adaptability perspective in biocultural anthropology. What is biocultural anthropology? In anthropology, this is one approach. We consider biology also and we consider culture also together. Okay, this is called biocultural approach. Even if we are studying a biological phenomena, we try to see cultural elements also. If we are studying cultural phenomena, we try to see biological elements also in it. Okay, so basically this is biocultural. Now this is saying that earlier we used to think in ecological anthropology that environment is neutral. But now we also consider power equation. That is, from this has emerged the discipline of political ecology. I'll give an example. Suppose there is a tribe that is residing in forest and it is doing all because of free utilization of forest resources, it is able to adapt itself. Now you create some law and you remove access of that tribe to that particular forest area. So due to this power equation, you have hampered the adaptability of that tribe. Okay, so that is the basic idea, that how political economy is integrated with ecological and adaptability perspectives in biocultural anthropology. 21, they have asked about acclimatization. This is a term nearer to adaptation. Discuss adaptive responses to high altitude and cold climate. As I told you, 3 terms are mentioned in your syllabus. One is high altitude, cold and hot desert. So you have to prepare these 3 only. Each year they ask something from these 3. 2020 they have asked biocultural responses to extreme climatic events. 2019 human adaptation is always biocultural in nature. Discuss with reference to adaptation to high altitude. Then 2018 Allen's rule and Bergman's rule. These are the various rules. Allen rule says that in cold climate people have or animals have short limbs. Similarly, there is another rule, Bergman. And does it hold for human population? That you have to explain with examples. Okay. 2018 distinguish between adaptation, adaptability and acclimatization. So all these terms you have to get precise clarity about it. What is adaptation, how it is different from adaptability and acclimatization. In 2017 they have asked, discuss the responses and acclimatization to high altitude stresses. The same question asked previously. Acclimatization means somehow you are adapting, you are doing various things, can be genetic, can be cultural, to adapt to a particular type of stressful environment. So that is called acclimatization. Then discuss the genetic and non-genetic factors in biocultural adaptation of human beings to different environment. This is a 20 marker, so that's why they have mentioned different environment. You can mention about all 3 here. 2015, critically examine the physiological responses and acclimatization to cold climate in man. So basically each year if you see, they have asked either on high altitude or cold climate alternatively. Regarding 9.7 and 9.8, there is push towards biocultural and critical angles. Okay, you have to focus on biocultural responses, and this was a tricky question, political economy one, the first one we discussed. Now, I have identified few focus areas. In linguistic anthropology, unit 7, you should focus on this relationship, language, culture and thought, and Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. This they have asked multiple times. Then branches of linguistic anthropology and language use in social settings, and relationship of linguistic with socio-cultural anthropology and emimetic approach. So only these if you prepare, you can answer most of the questions. Regarding Unit 8, history and evolution of fieldwork tradition, they have asked multiple times, 2022, 18, 16, 14. Then participant observation, evaluation, advantages and limitations. Then case study method with examples, tools of data collection and contemporary challenges in fieldwork. These themes have appeared multiple times. Okay, these 5 themes. In 9.1 to 9.4, chromosomal aberrations, the most repeated one. Then blood groups, these are genetic markers only, ABO, RH and HLA. Then concept of genetic polymorphism, Hardy-Weinberg, genetic equilibrium, then Mendelian principles and their human application, genetic counseling and pedigree analysis, and mechanisms of human variation in gene frequency. This is related to this topic. These two are related, Hardy-Weinberg and gene frequency one. In 9.5, if you prepare only this one, is race a biologically valid concept or race is a myth, you can answer most of the questions. In 9.7 and 9.8, basically they have asked about adaptation or adaptability, acclimatization, the differences, and they have focused on high altitude and cold. Then biocultural nature of human adaptation and Allen's and Bergman's role in humans. So this is all about unit 7, 8 and 9. Any questions? You got a little bit of idea about unit 9. So next we will discuss unit 10 to 12, okay? That will finish your paper 1. Any questions? All clear? Okay, thank you very much.
Most aspirants treat optional as a subject. Toppers treat it as an opportunity to gain an edge, boost their main score and strengthen their final rank. The question is simple: simultaneous preparation today or overwhelming pressure later on? Because optional preparation cannot be built overnight after prelims. It requires time, depth, practice, refinement. Start early, prepare smart, stay ahead. Join the VisionIAS Optional Classroom Program 2027 and turn your optional into your strongest scoring advantage. With comprehensive syllabus coverage, expert faculty guidance, subject-specific answer writing support, personalized mentorship, regular tests and performance assessment. Starting 1st July, batches are available for Anthropology, Geography, History, Philosophy, Physics, PSIR, Public Administration, Sociology. Register now and secure your seat.
Time is of the essence, and your UPSC preparation demands that you use it wisely. Every day you invest today shapes the knowledge you build, the confidence you gain, and the progress you make tomorrow. That's why your preparation deserves more than just effort. It deserves a structured plan. Introducing the VisionIAS Delhi GS Foundation Course 2027. A comprehensive program designed to help you build strong fundamentals, stay consistent, and prepare systematically for every stage of the civil services examination. Prepare comprehensively with general studies for prelims and mains, dedicated CSAT preparation for prelims, specialized essay preparation for mains, integrated current affairs, regular tests with detailed performance analysis, continuous mentorship and expert guidance. When your preparation is guided by a clear roadmap, every class adds value, every test measures progress, and every day moves you closer to your goal.